Nobody expected a Little League baseball team to make national headlines in 1984. Especially not the Milbrook Misfits, a team so bad they once managed to lose a game 47-0, 47-0, because their center fielder was convinced he was being stalked by invisible bees. Coach Pete, the Catastrophe Wilson, nicknamed for his legendary ability to turn any good situation into a disaster, had assembled what sports historians would later call the most spectacularly untalented group of athletes ever to wear matching polyester uniforms. There was Jimmy Wrongway Rodriguez, who ran to third base instead of first every single time he hit the ball. "It's shorter," he'd protest. "I'm being efficient." Tommy the Philosopher Chen spent most games contemplating the existential meaning of baseball while sitting cross-legged in right field. "But coach," he'd ask, "isn't the true home run the friends we make along the way?" Billy T-Rex Thompson refused to catch anything with his actual glove because he insisted on wearing plastic dinosaur claws. T-Rexes are way cooler than baseball players. No one could argue with that logic. Sarah, the statistician Murphy, knew every baseball statistic ever recorded but couldn't actually throw a ball. She'd recite Babe Ruth's batting average while missing catches. "Did you know that in 1923, oops, sorry about your window, Mrs. Jenkins." And then there was their star pitcher, Danny the Distraction O'Malley, whose main strategy was telling long, pointless stories while winding up. So anyway, my cousin's hamster learned to skateboard, but only on Tuesdays. The team's first game of the season set the tone for what was to come. They showed up wearing mixed parts of their uniforms because half the team thought they were supposed to wash them before the game in the same washing machine at the same time. "At least they're all the same color now," Coach Wilson sighed, looking at 12 kids in various shades of pink. "Sort of." The opposing team couldn't stop laughing long enough to bat properly, which turned out to be the Misfits' first accidental strategy. Their concession stand was equally chaotic. Instead of traditional baseball snacks, Tommy's grandmother had taken charge and was serving philosophical fortune cookies with messages like, "The ball is round, but is your soul?" and "He who runs to first base also runs from himself." The team's reputation grew with each bizarre game. They became known for their unique, let's call them strategies. The interpretive dance defense, where the outfielders express their feelings about each play through movement. The Mission Impossible base-running technique, where players would hum the theme song while army crawling between bases. The Shakespeare Gambit, where batters would dramatically soliloquize before each at-bat. To swing or not to swing, that is the question. Their games attracted growing crowds, not because they were good, but because nobody could predict what would happen next. Local news started covering them after the infamous squirrel game, where a family of squirrels had set up home in their dugout and the team refused to displease their new mascots. "They're our good luck charm," insisted Coach Wilson, even as the squirrels made off with 3 gloves and Tommy's philosophical fortune cookies. The team's turning point came during a crucial game against their arch-rivals, the Westfield Warriors, actual skilled players who wore proper uniforms and everything. It was the bottom of the 9th, bases loaded, 2 outs, and the Misfits were losing 10-9. Up to bat was Kenny the Klutz Peterson, who had never actually hit a ball before. He'd gotten on base 12 times that season by accidentally tripping into the pitcher's throws. The Warriors pitcher wound up for the throw, but just then, Tommy started a philosophical debate about whether the ball was really there. The Squirrels launched a coordinated attack on the opposition's dugout. Billy chased a butterfly through the infield in his T-Rex claws. Sarah loudly calculated the statistical probability of Kenny getting hit by the ball, 97.3% based on previous game data. And Danny started telling everyone about his aunt's pet rock collection. In the ensuing chaos, Kenny closed his eyes, swung wildly, and hit the ball. Well, hit might be generous. He actually stumbled, fell forward, and the ball bounced off his helmet. But in true Misfits fashion, it somehow worked. The ball bounced through the infield, past 3 deeply confused Warriors, and into right field where it was intercepted by a squirrel. By the time order was restored, Kenny had somehow scored an inside-the-park home run, though no one, including Kenny, was quite sure how. The Misfits had won their first game. The crowd went wild. The squirrels threw acorns in celebration. Tommy declared it a metaphor for life itself. The local paper's headline the next day read, "Chaos 13, Talent 10. Milbrook Misfits defy laws of baseball, physics, and common sense." The team's fame grew. They were invited onto local TV shows, where they demonstrated their unique techniques. Their warm-up routines set to Physical by Olivia Newton-John. Their rally caps, which were actually origami creations Tommy's grandmother had made from their pink uniforms. Their team cheer, which somehow incorporated 3 different languages, interpretive dance, and dinosaur noises. By the end of the season, they hadn't won the championship. They hadn't even won many games, but they had set a record for most creative ways to drop a ball, 27 and counting. Been featured in Sports Illustrated's Most Unusual Teams of 1984.